Constantine the Great was an emperor like no other. Strong, handsome and muscular, he was a soldier, a statesman and a builder. He was a Roman and also, later in life, a Christian. In fact, it was his Christianity that became his greatest mark on history, turning a minor religion into a world-changing faith. Constantine was born on February 27, 273, at Naissus in modern-day Serbia. At the time, his father, Constantius, was a junior officer in the Roman army. However, he rose quickly through the ranks, becoming a provincial general by the time his son was 10 years of age. This gave Constantius the means to provide his son with an advanced level of education, including instruction in Latin and Greek literature, as well as in philosophy. From the age of 12, he also received training as a soldier. When he was in his early teens, Constantine's parents divorced. In 293, Constantius was appointed Roman Caesar. At that time, Constantine was sent east, where he, now aged 20, participated in military actions against Persia and Egypt. Around 300, he married a woman by the name of Minervina, who happened to be the niece of Emperor Diocletian. Before long, she had produced a son who they named Crispus. By now, Constantine was serving in the imperial court at Nicomedia. The great persecution of the Christians began in 303 BCE. Constantine was opposed to the harsh measures but kept quiet in order to avoid personal consequences. Diocletian ruled as co-emperor with Maximian. In 305, these two stood down, being replaced by Galerius as emperor of the Eastern Empire and Constantius as the Western Emperor. It was expected that the sons of the new emperor would be appointed as Caesars by the outgoing emperors. Instead, they overlooked them and appointed Galerius's nephew and one of his army cronies. The machinations that led to these appointments were carried out by Galerius. The ambitious Constantine was furious at being overlooked for the position of Caesar. He headed east to join his father in Britain and contemplate his path forward. When his father died a year later, he accepted the acclamation of his father's troops as the new Augustus and ruler of the West. Meanwhile, Maxentius, the son of Galerius, who had also been overlooked as Caesar, unilaterally declared himself as Caesar. His father tried to stop him, but after 2 failed military campaigns, he was forced to accept both Maxentius and Constantine as Caesars. Constantine established his capital at Augusta Trevorum in the modern-day southwest Germany. There he built a palace and governed his father's provinces in Britain, Gaul, and Hispania. He also led a number of successful campaigns against German invaders on the Rhine frontier. Around this time, Constantine's wife Minervina died. He soon entered into a strategic marriage with Fausta, the sister of Maxentius. At this stage, Constantine's reputation was such that both Maxentius and his father, the former Emperor Maximian, considered Constantine to be Augustus, or emperor in all but name. However, tensions emerged between Maximian and Constantine. Maximian attempted to have Constantine assassinated in 310. Shortly thereafter, Constantine forced the former emperor to commit suicide. In 311, Galerius died. The Roman Empire was now ruled by 4 men. In the east, Licinius and Dia were embroiled in a power struggle. Meanwhile, in the west, Maxentius and Constantine maneuvered against each other for dominance. In 312, Constantine joined Licinius against Maxentius and Dia. He was now ready to make his move. Constantine invaded Italy in 312. A seasoned warrior, at the head of loyal veteran troops, he marched on Rome, behind the walls of which the much weaker Maxentius waited nervously. The 2 armies clashed on October 28, 312, at the Battle of Milvian Bridge, which spans the Tiber River just north of Rome. The battle actually took place north of the river on land. Maxentius had ordered that the Milvian Bridge be made impassable, but then changed his mind and marched his army out to face Constantine. Prior to entering into battle, Constantine was instructed in a dream to paint the Christian monogram being the first two letters of Jesus' name in Greek on the shields of his soldiers. The battle was a stunning victory for Constantine. With his army routed, Maxentius tried to make it back beyond the walls of Rome. However, in the crush of men trying to get to safety, he fell from the bridge and drowned in his armor. His body was recovered from the water and he was beheaded. Constantine did not object when his men paraded the head of his brother-in-law on a pike through the streets of Rome. One of Constantine's first acts as emperor was to profess faith in Christianity and to bring an end to the persecution of Christians. 2 years earlier, Constantine and his army had witnessed a solar halo. He consulted a wide range of men to interpret this sign, including Christian bishops. The bishops told him that what he had seen was a sign from Christ Jesus, who the Bible referred to as the light of the world. The combination of this event and the dream which had instructed him to put the symbol of Christ on the shields of his soldiers led to his conversion and declaration as a Christian. Constantine was now the ruler of an empire in which the vast majority of people were pagans. For the next dozen years, he battled with Licinius, the emperor of the East. In 324, Licinius's forces were defeated and Constantine became the sole emperor of the Roman Empire. Constantine then set about the process of Christianizing the empire, starting with the capital city. However, he did so in a cautious, piecemeal fashion so as not to incite public outrage. Christian-themed buildings were kept away from the middle of the city, with a series of churches being built on the edge of town. The grandest of them was St. John in the Lantern, which still stands today. Alongside it was a huge mansion which Constantine made the official residence of the Pope, who was appointed Bishop of Rome. Constantine also had shrines to saints and martyrs erected on the outskirts of the city. In 325, he convened the Council of Nicaea to settle the issue of the nature of the Trinity. Following his defeat of Licinius, Constantine did not reside in Rome. He set up his capital in Byzantium, which he renamed Constantinople and remodeled on a grand scale, calling it the Second Rome. In his later years, Constantine became a student of his adopted religion. It was his desire to be baptized in the Jordan River, but this was never to be. While preparing for a campaign against Persia, he fell ill and was forced to take to his bed. It was there that he was baptized shortly before his death in 337. He was buried in Constantinople at the Church of the Apostles, which he had built, confirming his belief that he was one of Christ's chosen ones.